But there is good news for all of you founders, because you know what this is all going to cause you to do. The tech layoffs, according to TechCrunch, are creating a new era of scrappy founders. So I don't know, Avi, you were probably freewheeling, like spending all kinds of cash like a year ago. You weren't scrappy at all, right? Like, because most tech founders a year ago in the startup space weren't scrappy.
As someone that works with me, I think you know that I'm very, very, in most ways, very thrifty.
It's not thrifty. You're smart frugal is what you call, because you gotta
I like
scrappy.
that. Thank you. I like smart frugal is what I will say from now on.
Well, it is a scrappiness though, right? I think every startup that I've worked with, that I've talked with, they have this kind of like, hey, the money here is not infinite, and we need to show that we can make a profit before we can spend big dollars. So we have to do more with less. It's been a common thing, right?
Totally.
I don't think layoffs are going to make any changes, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some of these companies, they got like 50 million in funding in the last, round. Maybe they're just burning cash hand over fist.
I mean, I think one thing here that's probably relevant too is that a lot of the people at these bigger companies that are getting laid off also got really nice severance packages, and they don't necessarily feel very rushed to get back to their next thing, and are maybe experimenting with, a project or a business they've been thinking about for a long time. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm just like really shooting from the hip on that.
But even so, if they're self-funding, they're going to be probably as smart with the dollars as they can be. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And like before, when I was getting Scarf off the ground, like I worked part-time for a while just doing that, so I could like, just have more runway personally and, work on Scarf more. And I think that, I don't know, just the necessity of the situation is going to just have people get very creative with how they fund the project.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's just, like I said, I think this is weird. And so one of the themes of the week here is I'm perplexed by some of the news stories and some of the things coming out in the news cycle. And I'm like, what the heck is this all about? Like for this article, I'm like, man, maybe there's a series of unscrappy, people who are, buying employees Teslas and, spending all kinds of crazy cash, to do stuff. But I think most, startups that I, know, tend to follow the principle of, hey, as we're in this pre-seed, we got to be very careful with the money.
Definitely the majority. Though, there's so many companies, not so many, but like there's a good amount of these companies that you see that like, oh, we raised a $50 million seed round. Not going to be scrappy. Not going to be scrappy.
Well, no, you could still be scrappy with that, but you have the money to, like, I guess, do a lot more stuff, right?
Yeah. And I when you have time or you have the resources to, do things very well right out the gate, like that just kind of that doesn't necessitate what I would call like scrappiness of what is the shittiest thing that we could ship that will solve a problem for somebody. And like,
yeah.